Good morning, Transplant Helper community. My name is Jim Merle, and today I want to be sharing with you 5 traits of a really good, maybe even a great physician. Whether you're looking for a general practitioner, some type of specialist, or in our cases, most of us, a member of a transplant team, I promise you, if you'll look for these 5 characteristics, you're going to be finding someone who really is going to give you the best, highest quality care, the type of care that you deserve. You're going to find a great doctor, okay? So with that being said, today I'm going to use a memory tool that I like to use. It's called an acrostic. If you're not familiar with what an acrostic is, basically that's where you take a word that you're extremely familiar with and you spell it out top to bottom, and as you do that, each letter in that word going across represents a point in what you're trying to say. So maybe that doesn't make any sense if you've never seen that. We're going to start it out right here, and we're going to use the word fight, F-I-G-H-T, to represent what a great doctor really is. Because I honestly believe any great doctor that you encounter, they're going to be someone who's willing to fight for you, literally almost put up their dukes to make sure that you're going to get the highest quality care possible. So let's jump right in the very first point. Let's start out with the first letter in the word, the letter F. What does the letter F represent? Well, the letter F represents a person, a doctor, a physician who is willing to find a plan that is specific for you. Now, I go to the big university hospital, UAB hospital, over 50,000 employees, literally thousands and thousands of transplant patients there, many of which are heart transplant patients just like myself. And I realize that my care team, they see a ton of patients every single day. But one of the things I have to watch out for, and hopefully they're watching out for as well, is that they're treating all of our cases and making all of our plans based on the individual, not based on some general things. Now, there'll be certain procedures and tests and medications that are kind of consistent among all those patients that most of us are on, but when we sit down in front of them, we're having those exams, we're having those tests to be read, we're having those discussions. I would like to think that a really good or maybe even a great doctor is one that's going to look at you as an individual and decide precisely what is right for you. They're going to find the plan that is precisely and perfectly set for you as an individual, not as a number, not as a whole group, but say, okay, Jim, this is what we need to do in your case, and this is what we need to do specifically to help you out. And I think that's one of the main, probably the first characteristic that needs to exist in a great physician. So from the letter F, we go F-I. What does the letter I represent? Well, I represents the fact that a great doctor will invite you to be a part of your care team. I get it. All these men, women, whoever they are, these people have spent years upon years, sometimes decades in school, and they basically stay constantly in school, brushing up, learning more, all about being a physician, about being in their field, about their specialties and all of that stuff. They got a ton of training that you and I have never had, and be honest with you, don't want to have. I'm not a medical doctor, have no desire to be, although I think their jobs are interesting. I'm thankful for them. I just don't want to be in the medical field at this point. So with that being said, I need them to be the experts, but at the same time, I need them to invite me, just little old me, to be a part of my care plan. Because what I've always said, and I'll say it again, you know your body better than anyone else. You know your body much better than they do, even though they've got a lot of data, they've got a lot of tests, a lot of results, a lot of discussion, hopefully that's going back and forth. You still know your body best. And so if they invite you to be part of that care plan, then I think you're going to be better off for it. You're going to be able to give input. Anything that they decide to do or not do, they can at least run it by you. They can ask you what your thoughts are, what your suggestions are, and I think that can be huge as far as you getting good quality care, and it can definitely be a proving fact or trait of a great doctor. So we've got the first 2 out of the way, F-I. Next letter, F-I-G. What does G mean in this case? Well, G means that this doctor is willing to literally almost go to bat for you in every given situation, especially when it comes to transplants and you're waiting for transplant. Honestly think they should go to bat to try to put you at the top of the list and keep you there. Now, I get it. I'm not making an argument. The sickest patients should always go first. The sickest patients should be the ones who get the transplants, and the ones of us who are not as sick, who are, still doing pretty well, still having a little quality of life left in us as we're awaiting transplant. Yeah, we should be second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever. But at the same time, your doctor should constantly be going to bat for you to make sure that based on the current information, the current data that they have, that if you're getting sicker and if you're getting, we're just going to say it in the South, worser and worser, that they're going to bat to get you toward the top of that list. And I've had programs before that people that I talked about the secret of the transplant list and such, and that's really the secret of the transplant list. I'll link the video up here, you can watch it. But the real secret is that your doctor knows you, they know your case, and that if they see you getting it all, again, I'll use the term worser, which, it's a word down here. It may not be where you live. But if you're getting worse, they're going to go to bat and make sure that they get you as close to the top of the list as possible and that they get you that transplant if that's what you need in life. So there we go. There's the first three letters, F-I-G. Next letter, H. What in the world does the letter H stand for in this case? Well, it stands for has you in mind in every advancement, okay? They have you in mind for every advancement, okay? Every single day, and I'm so thankful for this. Every single day, medical technology is getting better and better and better. Whether it's the actual testing, whether it's the actual treatments, whether it's the medications that we get. I can tell you firsthand, I had my transplant 7 years ago, actually 7 years and 2 months ago, and if I'd had it 10 years ago or 15 years ago, it was a whole different ball game. I've spoken with many of you that are maybe 10, 15, 20 years post-transplant, and you even say it, that what you had done for you then and what you're having done for you now is in some ways completely different. Technology has improved. It's gotten better. There are different, again, tests, procedures, techniques, even in surgery that can be used, things that can help you along in life, medical devices that have been created and invented that are really helping us out a lot now. And you need a physician that has you in mind for all of those things. I know this is not transplant related, but I particularly always think about those who are dealing with cancer. And every person who's fighting cancer wants that one doctor somewhere, somehow, to step up and say, we've got this experimental treatment, we've got this new way of doing things that I really think will help you. And they want the doctors keeping them in mind for that and having them in mind all the way. So F-I-G-H, last letter here in this word fight, the letter T. What does that mean? That literally means here that they need to talk to you and your family about every decision. I kind of already mentioned this above in the idea of inviting, the letter I, but at the bottom of that, you need a whole care team that exists outside of the physicians. You need, care members and caregivers and family members and aunts, uncles, brothers, cousins, dogs are familiar with your case as well. And if you're willing to do it, one of the best ways to allow that to happen is to carry those family members to your appointments. I know for me, in my case, it was my wife. My wife was at nearly every appointment she could be at, and every time she came in the room and sat down, my doctors, my physicians, they not only had a conversation with me, they talked with her, and they allowed her to understand and to grasp and to really ask questions about what was going on with me. And that helped a tremendous amount, because a lot of times, particularly when you're the transplant candidate, or even in the case of being post the same, you go in and you've got a different perspective. You got a different view. Maybe you're a little foggy because you don't feel well. And that extra person in the team, that extra family member that they're willing to talk to, is going to be a huge help. That way, when you drive out of that parking deck a little bit later and you get home and you're laying back in your easy chair, which I like to do, you could ask that family member, hey, what just happened there? What did they say? Explain to me again what they were talking about. Having someone there to kind of take those notes, whether it's on a physical piece of paper, tapping it in their phone, notes application, or just hearing it, remembering it, helping you with it, that's a huge thing. And a good physician will allow that. Now, I know in our current situation with COVID, it's a little bit more difficult. In some places, some facilities, you can't even take that caregiver with you. But if you at all can, I think it's a wonderful idea. And you need to make sure you've got a good, maybe even a great doctor who's willing to allow those family members to become on board as a part of the team and to be involved in all those decisions and to help you make those decisions. Because again, I know many times my wife, having a different perspective, not being me, she stood on the outside and really had some good thoughts and really changed the way that my care was done, because she knew what was going on. So I think these phrases that we've used in the acrostic FIGHT, F-I-G-H-T, are certainly, they can make up the totality of what a good or maybe even a great doctor a physician really is. I hope this has helped you out in some way. If it has, how about give this video a big thumbs up? Give it a like. That really helps the YouTube algorithm, whatever that is, helps YouTube to know this video is being well received and it can be useful. It'll help people to find it, make it more searchable. In addition to that, if you're not already a current subscriber, please consider subscribing to the channel. That will allow you to be notified whenever these videos come out if you choose, and you'll be the first to watch, and you'll be the first to be able to comment and participate in the transplant community. Okay, now lastly, there'll be several videos popping up on the screen somewhere about like maybe right now. How about checking out some of those other videos? Many of those will be my videos about other subjects. Some will be videos just simply by others who are related to what we're talking about today. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, stay stronger, friend.